We are in Monterey, California for the 2024 Sea Otter Classic. There's hundreds of vendors back there behind me, so let's go inside, check it out, see how many new bikes we can find today. All right, first stop, we found Tim with Digit Bikes, and you guys probably saw because we posted about it a couple days ago. This is the all-new Ring. What can you tell us about it?
So the Datum got people pretty excited last year. Based on this analog suspension system is really what makes it quite unique and advantageous. If you think about a short link 4-bar suspension systems, they'll have a link down here and then they'll have a link up here. So if you imagine a link up here, I've done away with that, and instead I replaced it with a strut. It's a very long shock that has structural pieces inside of it. These structural pieces are very similar to the bushings that are in a fork leg.
Yeah.
So that means I can do away with this upper link. Doing away with the upper link saves weight, increases reliability because there are fewer pieces that could ever break, get dirt in them.
Sure.
This frame and the shock weighs under 6.5 pounds.
That's great. For an alloy frame.
For an alloy frame.
Yeah.
And then the shock itself is huge. Many times more oil in there. I did a calculation at one point, I don't recall the numbers, but I think meant that the oil service life should be about 12 times greater.
Wow.
You're still going to need to pull down the dust seal and clean under there and grease it up. But that, all you do is you just unscrew this, clean it up, put some more grease on it, put it back together. Yeah. Easy peasy. But the insides of this should have increased reliability. Under here, you can see there's a pedal switch, low speed compression, and then on the inside of there, you can see the red dot on the end of it. Is a rebound adjuster. Okay. So it has all the same adjustment that you expect on any
all
shock.
External, you're not having to dig in there or anything like that. Yeah.
And you get great frame stiffness because once the bolts are in here, this is a continuous solid
one piece rear triangle. You don't only have one rocker link.
Yep. And then the rocker link that is here is super stout. As much as it is extremely lightweight, lightweight really wasn't the goal with this. Yeah. You know, it's taken us 30 years since suspension bikes first came about, and they were terrible. And we're kind of at the top of the mountain now, so I didn't really want to mess with the performance aspect. Yeah. Just wanted to, you know, open up the frame so we can get water bottles. You get a full-size one here. You can get a monster water bottle on this side. You put one underneath as well. And then also I get a straight-through C-post, so C-tube, so I can.
Do those? Just curious. Do those bolts go through the C-tube? Is that where the insertion limit is there? Yeah.
I spec the extra large with the 240, large with the 210. Perfect. But I could run, I'm 6 foot on the large, I could insert enough to get 240.
Cool.
So yeah, last year was the Datum, which was a 140 rear travel and a 164. This is the new model that just released a couple of days ago. This is a 144. The vertical component of 140 millimeters is 128 millimeters, so I have 120 in the back. And this one has 29-inch wheels front and rear. People ask for it, here it is.
Here it is, awesome, it looks beautiful.
One thing about here it is, there's not very many of them.
Okay.
I make the frames myself. I have somebody else do the welding, but I've been making the frames myself. Limited numbers. My capacity is low. I'm probably going to be making 30 frames this year. Wow. So at the moment, I'm taking deposits on these 30 frames. I'll be delivering probably in end of June. Okay.
And the best way for people to get on that list and make a deposit is on your website?
digitbikes.com/ring for this one and /Datum for the other one.
Cool. Well, thank you, Tim. Good chatting.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm here with Joey at Ari Bikes, closet dual slalom racer, and product manager with Ari?
No, on the marketing team.
Marketing team.
We all do a little bit of everything.
All the same thing. Yeah. What do we have going on here?
Yeah, we have a lot going on. We're showing off a ton of new bikes here, and also kind of our new branding too. We a lot of new teams, athletes, and other initiatives as well. So. We're stoked to show you a couple of our new bikes.
Let's do it.
And kind of go from there.
Cool.
So kind of starting over here, we just released this bike here a couple weeks ago. This is our Wire Peak. Incredible value for the bike that you do get on this. Great price point e-bike. So cool. Make sure to use the 99 spokes tool to see. I'm sure we're on our own little dot.
The spec level, just an outlier.
I'm sure we're an outlier on this one.
Heck yeah, dude. That's great.
So I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek too. We plan to launch this bike, the Cascade, here in a couple weeks. So again, this is aluminum frame in the trail category as well. We're starting at about $1,800 on this bike.
Wow.
So look out for that in the next couple weeks. This bike is going to be killer for a ton of riders. And kind of going back a little bit to some of our athletes and teams that we started this year, we did a custom cascade for dual slalom for this race.
No way.
But yeah, this is a really cool bike. You'll see this on a bunch of bike checks and
yeah,
hopefully on the podium too.
Heck
so
yeah.
We'll see.
Cool. And I noticed prototype dirt jumper in there too. Is that something that was kind of?
That's right. This is on the list for this year as well. You know, kind of give you a little teaser, but yeah. Without going into too much in depth with kind of what makes this thing different or special, I'll just give you a little point there on the wheel size.
Okay.
But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
You'll see a little bit more later.
Cool.
So,
neat.
As well as our downhill bike. We saw some holes that we thought that we could fill with this bike, especially in the, you know, this bike is very modular in the way that you can adjust almost everything on the bike. So you can adjust the kinematic with this.
Neat.
Yeah, with this little front mount there. You can do mullet with this flip chip. You can do chainstay adjustment with this flip chip. You can also do, we have a 2-2 head tube, so you can do angle adjust as well. So we did a lot on this bike to make it so, you know, Kyle can do rampage on it. But you can also
race on it or whatever.
And it's gonna be sick on the bike park. You know, it's a downhill bike that can fit everybody's needs. The Bonneville is our e-gravel bike that we're coming out with. So it also has the Fazua Ride 60 motor. Also has a 430 watt-hour battery. So it kind of hits a really cool market. You know, you can also treat it as an e-road bike as well. It's got clearance for gravel as well. So there's a lot of cool things that that this bike fills. So, and then also we're showing a other new drop bar bike as well.
Let's see it. Yeah.
So this is our new Suncrest. So this is a sub 800 gram frame.
Wow.
Incredible. So my favorite thing on this is a full water bottle weighs more than the frame.
No way.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
So you double your frame's weight by putting a cage or bottle on there?
That's my favorite statistic about this bike.
Dude.
This bike, keep your eyes peeled on this one. It'll probably be a couple months, but so yeah, man. I mean, this is what we got.
Yeah, so cool. No, I mean, you did a great job summing it up. It's really cool to see the new energy that's being kind of pushed through the brand, and we're actually going to be getting one of these Cascades to review here in a little bit, so you'll be seeing that come up on our Instagram, I'm sure, right about when the bike launches. So
yeah,
thanks, Joey.
Great.
Really good getting to meet you and learn more about everything you guys have going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are here at the Canyon booth. We've got Zach. He's going to tell us about some of the cool new stuff that Canyon has in the works, and maybe hint at a little something that you might be learning more about within the next little bit here.
Hold on. This is, Braden just got his bike. Come check this out. Look at the rear triangle. Those are all like refrigerator doodles that his kids made. So for the 2024 season or model year, we've updated most of our mountain bike range as well as our gravel bikes to kind of start things off with true all-rounder. The new Neuron, which will have 130 millimeters of rear wheel travel, 140 in the front, as well as a full-length dropper post even on the smaller sizes, so they can take fully advantage of that.
Too. That's cool.
Semi-integrated cable housing. The whole idea behind this bike is the all-day bike. Ride anywhere, jack of all trades. It's got a geometry which puts it in between our cross-country bikes and our trail bikes, so you can still ride up, but it descends equally as well. Not quite as slack as some of our longer bikes like Spectral.
Yeah.
The counterpoint to that, of course, we've known and been known in cross-country circuits for our Lux. It's our essentially pivotless rear suspension design relying on the flex of the carbon fiber. This is the Lux Trail. So this bike will have 20 more millimeters of travel in the front for a total of 120, and then 115 millimeters of travel in the back with the addition of this swing link here, which with this pivot bolt and the concave surface really increases rigidity. It was designed to eliminate flex, whereas the cross-country bike is as light as possible. This thing's designed to be more of a down-country bike, a rail. Comes with a dropper, larger tire clearance, It's all around a more fun bike to ride if you're not racing every day.
So this has a different frame than the standard Lux? Interesting. So it's not just a longer travel fork and call it a day?
Nope, this is a completely different platform.
Cool.
With this setup here, with the shock placement, as well as the new semi-integrated front end, this is a completely new platform.
Cool.
Step over to gravel. New Grail is our race gravel platform.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind this bike is an all-inclusive gravel platform. You have a brand new seat post designed with compliance built into it, but still incredible lightweight. You have internal storage for everything you would normally carry in your seat pack, pump, multi-tool, spare tube, in the down tube, but also a quick release wedge pack that mounts here and a top tube bag here. Combined with the semi-integrated cable housing and the aero cockpit, it keeps everything in line. So you can carry all the additional stuff on a gravel bike, but it keeps it aerodynamic.
Sure.
This is the race bike.
Sure.
This is what people are winning BWRs on. This is what people are racing on Lifetime.
Yeah.
This is the original Grail was the first gravel race bike that we made, and this is just an evolution of that.
Absolutely.
Small features that you might not see right off the bat. The cockpit has been designed with 6 degrees of down angle.
Okay.
Just when you hold your wrists out, it puts your elbows in.
Neat.
Every concession is made for speed.
Just more aero. Yeah.
Everything is made for speed. Whereas in our road bike range, people are well familiar with Air Road.
Yep.
Winning all the races, the man himself right there. This is our absolute fastest road racing platform. Most aerodynamic, stiffest bottom bracket, integrated aero cockpit, completely fully integrated cable and housing, designed day in and day out to be our fastest road racing platform. Also the stiffest.
Yeah.
The other end of that spectrum would be Endurace, which was completely redesigned last year as well. More of a comfort-oriented bike, up to 35 millimeter tires. Includes our full-blown 2-piece seat post with even more suspension travel than the other one, but still has the same integrated aero cockpit as Air Road and Ultimate. So it has aerodynamic features. The treatment you see here, kind of a unique look. Dimpled actually reduces 3 watts, like a golf ball.
Yeah.
Included storage here on the top tube for your multi-tool, CO2, tire levers, and then fix-it sticks. The idea being that you can take everything out of your seat pack, put it in here, and then just throw a tube in your jersey and you're good to go.
Huge, huge.
This is the brand new Strive On. This is what is most recent as far as our e-mtbs go. It's got a Bosch drive system in it.
Cool.
160 millimeters of rear travel. This is an e-enduro rig.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not the monster travel torque that you'll see at Red Bull Rampage. This is an e-mtb race bike developed in conjunction with Fabian Burrell, team director.
Yeah.
Keep it low to the ground, keep it fast, get you up the neutral stages.
Yep.
So you can
Rip
save
back
your
down.
time. People are raving over this bike. On the push bike side of things, if you're familiar with our lineup from last year, we had Spectral 125 and full-blown Spectral, which was 160.
Yeah.
A lot of models, a lot of different looks, kind of bridging the gap between torque and Spectral. We've reduced all of that down to just one Spectral family.
Cool.
You'll have 140 millimeters of travel in the back, 150 in the front. Just a well-rounded package. Available some models with a coil shock, some model with an air shock. The idea being it's more pedalable and more fun than the 160 in the back, but still rowdy enough to get you out of trouble in the front.
And I'm assuming there'll be models with the KISS system and some without on this.
They're all going to be with KISS.
Okay, cool.
You can remove it, and there's a plug that goes in there, or you can just loosen it all the way up.
Sure.
There's no physical interface in the KISS system with the steer tube. It goes around the outside, so that all you're doing basically is loosening its hold on that.
Yeah.
It's unique, and one thing that I did not fully understand about the KISS system until I rode it was how much it helped on the climbs. Especially on these big travel bikes with slacker head tube angles, your front wheel wanders as you're going uphill.
Sure.
Keeps you in line. You're not fighting it. You're not going from ditch to ditch, just trying to get up the hill.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I had completely overlooked.
That's
but
cool.
those are some of the new features we have. Internal storage on this guy as well as some of the other ones that I've showed you. Just updates to our existing platforms, the refinements you'd expect to see in a next generation.
Sure. And I'm assuming this box behind us is just extra apparel and...
No one really knows what's in there, but I'm sure it's exciting.
Okay, well, we will we'll be sure to check by later on this weekend and see if we can figure out what's in there.
All right.
Cool, it was Zach, right?
Zach.
Zach, thank you for chatting, man.
Yep,
We'll
thank
see
you
around.
guys.
All right, we are here with Alex at Norco, and we're gonna take a look at everything that's new here. Obviously, you guys have released some new bikes pretty recently, but what's going on?
Yeah, right on. Hey, I'm Alex. I am the brand manager for Norco USA. This is a very fun year for Norco. 2024, we've got a pretty good slate of releases that we have launched over the last couple of months. So we've got a little bit on the pedal platform. So our new optic and sight, the pedal bikes. With those bikes, you get a high pivot design all the way down to a 125 frame travel.
Do you know of any other high pivot bikes that are 125 or less?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
We're the only ones.
Yeah.
And so people ask a lot, like, why? Why
Sure.
would we do that? Why would we bring it to that low of a frame travel? Well, for us, it's really about getting the best ride feel for the intended use. So a lot of us here at Norco, we ride bikes. We ride a lot of different kinds of bikes, and we really like riding chunky stuff.
Yeah.
But some of us have to pedal a lot.
Yeah.
And you still really want to be able to ride that bike that can handle really chunky terrain while still being able to pedal and climb really efficiently. So I was just in Sedona at Sedona Mountain Bike Fest. Super good. Everybody loves Sedona.
Yeah.
I was riding there during the event, and I was amazed at how well those bikes not just descended, but climbed.
Yeah.
So
the
you
big
got
square head hitch on the way up.
so many square edges, and I like
That's Sedona.
personally,
We'll
that's
have
my
all of it.
jam.
Okay,
right?
cool.
Like I love climbing weird techie shit.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
yeah.
thing. So I'll be climbing up something, and I'll be like, oh man, this track's so great. I'm so happy. And my bike has a 27.5 rear wheel.
Okay.
And it still feels fantastic on the way up. I can't tell the difference in climbing efficiency between that and my previous gen 29er optic. It feels fantastic. Super good traction, still very efficient. And then on the way down, just feels so bottomless. And then with that 27.5 rear wheel, you can really just get wherever you need to be on that bike. Your weight can stay nice and centered. I'm not very tall, so it's pretty nice for me coming into those big steep rock rolls and being able to just be like in a really nice, stable, planted position. I don't have the rear wheel coming up and buzzing my butt. It's super nice. So also on the mixed wheel side of things, for us this year, you've got the option for the sight and optic to switch between 29 and 27.5, and we do that in a little bit of a different way than how some other brands do it. So it's not just a flip chip, because a flip chip's not going to maintain either your geo or your kinematic, right? So you're going to have to choose one or neither. Some brands choose neither. We're super picky. You can tell that from like our Ride Aligned app, our setup guide. So we're pretty particular about how to set your bike up. We want you to feel like you've got one of our engineers on the road with you or on the trail.
That's so
cool. Colin Ryan is with you on the trail. He's the one who does all the suspension tuning. So he's got all of his stuff in the back end, and he makes sure that all of our fits, if you're 5'4", if you're 6'4", that bike's gonna ride the same for you. So 5'4", somebody who's 6'4", we're gonna have the same riding experience,
That's
right?
cool.
So for us, you don't just get a flip chip, you get a link arm, and you get lower shock mounts. So these little plates sit down here, so you can flip between the two sizes, and it maintains both your geo and your kinematic. So you can put the leverage curve for those two setups on the graph, and they will be exactly overlapping on both of those setups. Yeah, it's super nice.
Yeah, well, nerds at 99 Spokes, we love all the data, we love getting into that. That's crazy, the attention to detail that's gone into that.
Yeah, thank you. We are very proud of it. And then what you also get with that attention to detail from us, you get some e-bikes that also have mixed wheel setup. So all of our e-bikes this year have a 27.5 rear wheel, 29 front, so you get the best of both worlds. You get the rollover capabilities, but then you keep the wheel base under control. And then you get, with our 2024 e-bikes, you also get some of the best from Bosch. So we are the first brand in North America, I believe, to launch with the Bosch SX drive unit. This thing has 55 Newton meters of torque, so very similar to like Fazua or TQ in terms of torque. But on the Bosch SX drive unit, you get 600 watts of peak power. So that's the same as the CX that we've got on the range and the Sight VLT. So when you're going up something steep, if you're going up something steep or chunky, you're gonna, as a cyclist, naturally kind of pick your cadence up. So when you do that, it gives you more power.
There you go.
Just like you
you'd
naturally
expect,
do anyway.
when you're really pedaling a bike.
Exactly. So if you're riding with people on big bikes with 600 watts of peak power compared to, let's say, TQ at 300 watts of peak power, you're gonna have a lot more guts to keep up with your friends on big bikes. So if your friends are jerks and you're on a fire road climb, they can probably still drop you if they try.
But steep single track,
yeah, but steep single track, you're fine. I've done mixed rides. You can ride with people on pedal bikes, you can ride with people on big e-bikes. it's all good. You get a 400 watt hour E2 battery. It does work with the 250 watt hour range extender as well.
Neat.
So you get a maximum of 650 watt hours of battery, 55 newton meters of torque, 600 watts of peak power, and then all of the ride, feel, and suspension expertise that you get from Norco as a brand.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Alex.
Yeah,
It's great
absolutely.
chatting.
Yeah, thanks for the time.
Super cool bikes over here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, that is a wrap on day one of Sea Otter Classic. If there are any brands that we didn't visit today that you want to hear from, then please be sure to leave those in the comments. While you're there, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to 99 Spokes so that you can see that video that comes up tomorrow. And as always, remember that bikes are for everyone. Have fun out there.